right, we are live, and we have a guest.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody tonight? We got Ms Celena Garret Dunn with us. Celena, excuse me. I'm sorry. We'll call her Miss Dunn. But we got to meet Miss Dunn last Saturday night. Her and her cousin. And I'm sorry, I can't remember your cousin's name. I'm sorry. Lori.
Lori Mower.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Sometimes it takes me a couple of times with some people.
I think Mr. Eric tried to call her Lori Morgan.
Lori Morgan.
She said, Lori Morgan.
She wouldn't mind, and neither would I. Lori Morgan.
And the money to go with it, we good.
That'd be good.
Go ahead and let's tell everybody hi in the chat real quick.
I was working on it. They've been chatting.
Yeah, they've been going at it for a few minutes.
All right. So we got Billy, Mr. Wendell. We got Judy Wheeler in here. Let's see. Terry Allen has made it in. Gary Spikes made it in. Sharon. Tommy Johnson. Hi there. Debbie. Miss Jubilee. Did I say Judy Wheeler already? If not, Sharon Guy. Let's see. Oh, Cedar Creek Bottoms is in the house.
Yep.
Mark Plowboy Green's in the house.
Right.
John Lamb. Phyllis is in the house with us. Man, y'all been chatting. Miss Blue Eyed is in here. I love Miss Pat. Glad she could make it in. George White. You not saying hello as I call him?
Go ahead, babe. I'm listening.
You usually say,
"Well,
hey, Big Al."
I'm over here, and
when I say George White, you usually say, "Hey, Big Al."
Yeah, I'm letting you call them out.
Because I don't know who they are.
Call them out, babe.
Mark Creel. Yeah, I'm going a lot faster than you probably. Gene Hudson. Patrick Noble. He's making me do all the work tonight. Greg House. All right, there, y'all, this chat. Miss Diane. Tennessee Cherokee. Jeff Yarrington. Hopefully I'm getting near the end, but I feel like I'm not. Richard Jr.'s back. Hi there. Hillary. Over here dancing, reading, y'all. Katie G. Kimmy Sunshine's here. Robert Denduven. Mr. Denduven made it in. Good thing I said it because you always butcher his name, he said. Mr. Paul has made it in the house as well. Let's see. Am I down towards the end yet?
You got Michael X and Miss Robin.
Oh, you must have skipped a whole bunch.
Miss Diane and Don Moore.
Now he takes over.
Miss Cynthia Johns.
Say hey.
Yeah.
Miss Jean.
Yep. Good to see you.
Saturday's in here.
There's Lori.
Her friend Lori, yeah.
Her cousin.
Excuse me.
There's Michelle.
Jeff and Jeffy and all them are made it in. I think I'm getting near the end.
Mr. Craig.
Must not be getting near the end. There's Craig.
We're getting close. Yeah. We're just about there. They go faster than us.
Well, they are. Every time I think I'm getting at the end, there's more. Michelle.
There's Bobby, Miss Bobby. Miss Karen's on. And I'm to the bottom right now.
Yay, I made it to the bottom too. Oh, Spencer does it too. Okay.
Yeah.
No, Mark does it as well.
Sometimes.
Mark can't read.
Well, I can read.
It's a vision thing. Yeah. I like my version better. All right, Mr. William made it in as well. All right, so thank you all for joining us tonight. Take it away, Mark. Leanne made it in.
Well, Miss Dunn, I'm glad to have you on with us, and was glad to meet you last Saturday night. I'm very glad you got to come meet some of the folks at the campfire, and glad you had a good time, and everybody enjoyed meeting y'all. And like I said, we do a fire pit once a month. usually try to do it the first Saturday of every month, but I'm fixing to go on 12-hour shifts starting in January, and so
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
oh, you okay? You okay?
Just bring them on.
For her to be a puppy, she sure is loud, ain't she?
Oh, you ought to hear when Sister barks. She'll bust your eardrum.
Yeah, but
I heard her. I heard her.
but I'm glad y'all got to come, and that's what our campfire is about, is fellowship, and it really ain't about the food or any of that. It's really about the fellowship. But those cookies you brought were very good cookies. I want to think you hardly had any left. I think most of them got ate up, so that was very good. And if anybody doesn't know, Ms. Dunn has her own channel, and if Gary or Miss Diane or one of y'all here, when you get time, I'll throw that link up in there to Miss Dunn's channel. And if you want to call it out real quick, you're more than welcome to, Miss Dunn. And
okay, thank you. It's at Celena Garret Dunn 6028. I'm just starting. I'm new, and there's a lot of stuff I don't know, but I sure enjoy everybody.
well, I've got to watch some of your videos. I don't get to watch all of them. I don't get to watch everybody like I'd love to, but I try to when I have time, and everything, and it was kind of strange. One night my phone started blowing up at work, and everybody kept sending me over to World Bigfoot Radio to Duke Sutherland, and it showed sighting in Piedmont, Alabama. And of course, a lot of people know that I try to keep up with what's going on in Alabama because I'm an Alabamian, and the eastern part of the states where I really try to keep up with, what's going on in the Bigfoot world and all that. And sister, this ain't gonna work real well.
Nope.
But, come on, you gotta go somewhere. I mean, you can't do all this tonight. So, but
because the cat's over here.
so of course I went and listened to your show with Duke and heard what you had to say and seen the pictures pop up, and of course Rebecca, being from right there not far from that area where she grew up, and they're right across the state line in Cedartown, and me being a little familiar with the area, and then her people, some of her grandparents' people were actually from Easton Hills, right there on the Alabama line. So that
Easton Hill and Antioch.
Right. So that
I've been through Easton Hill a lot in my life. A lot.
So that really caught my eyes, and then of course your sighting, and
thank you, Diane.
Gary and Diane, thank you.
Yeah,
that caught my attention. So I'm glad to have you on, and we'll go ahead and let Rebecca do her plant and book of the week, and then if you have something you want to show after she gets done, before we get into learning a little bit about you and your encounter, we can.
Hey, Mr. John.
Thank y'all so much for having me. Thank you so much. I just love y'all to pieces.
We're glad to have you.
All right, so let's start with the book of the week. So I'm gonna pull the herb from the book of the week because y'all see what it is behind me, right? It's dark. Me trying to find you an herb to actually put on this show in the short hour of dark that I am home, it's more than likely not going to happen because it's still hot. There's still snakes, and I ain't chancing it in the dark. So we'll probably just pull them through the winter from a book instead of me showing you what we have in our yard. I can tell you that tonight's herb is in the yard, though. So here's the book, though. This is going to be maybe a book that not everybody is going to want because it does stick to the southeast. So with that in mind, some of the plants in here are more than just the southeast. So you can take a look at it if you want. I'll leave that up to you. Southeast medicinal plants. So this is a pretty good book. It's got a lot of information. It's got pictures. It's got, for instance, for tonight's plant, it's got a set of pictures, one of the leaves, one of the blooms. It's got a section in the title, basically, on what parts is used and stuff like that. It gives you a real quick headline of what the plant is, basically. And then you've got a whole section on how to identify it, where, when, and how to gather and wildcraft with it. A section on all of its medicinal uses and how to prepare it. There's even a section on how to prepare it in this little book. So all of this that you see here is one plant. That's how much information it gives you. So again, this is, again, Southeast Medicinal Plants. Of course, I found it on Amazon. Amazon has a lot of books. You can find them used on there. So when you do your search, it'll, of course, pull up the brand new book. And if you scroll down the page just a little bit, it gives you other people selling the book and what the lowest price basically is for it. Of course, you know me. I like the lowest price possible. That way I can afford more books. So Southeast Medicinal Plants. Pretty good book. Now, for the plant of the week this week, it is crossvine. So this is a wild vine that grows out in the woods, basically. It is known basically as crossvine, basically because the two leaves are across from each other. The vine and the leaves form a cross at every section. The blooms almost look like trumpet vine. So I'm going to tell you, like I tell you on a lot of things, make sure you know what you're gathering before you gather it. Because if you're wanting crossvine and you gather trumpet vine in my family was always known as cow itch, because a lot of people, when they handle the trumpet vine, it would cause itching. And my daddy always called it cow itch. Don't know why, but it was awful. So make sure you're actually gathering what you're supposed to be gathering. The leaves of the crossvine are different from trumpet vine, but the blooms, y'all can probably see right there, that looks almost like a trumpet vine. So be sure you're identifying properly when you're identifying. Google is your friend. It's a great friend. Just make sure that you are checking those websites. And I know that technology is always not going to be there, but use it while it's there. I mean, don't discount something you have available now. Don't hurt yourself now to hurt yourself later. What is it? Something about don't cut off your foot to spite your hand or something like that. I don't remember how that saying goes, but use what you have, but always make sure you have stuff for later in case you don't have. Use the internet. You have it, but always have backups too. All right, crossvine. Native Americans use crossvine, which its scientific name is the begonia, B-I-G, and I'm sorry, not begonia, bignonia, B-I-G-N-O-N-I-A. That is its species name, basically, Bignonia capreolata, for a variety of medical purposes, including, listen to this stuff, y'all, blood purification. They used an infusion of the leaves to purify the blood. Rheumatism. You do a decoction of the leaves, basically like a tea, to treat rheumatism. Edema and headaches. So it treated the swelling in your legs and headaches as well, caused by, all those pressure and inflammation things. It helped treat diphtheria, lots of different things that it treated. So it is another one that is a good plant to know. And I don't know if it's everywhere. I know it is in the South. I know it's in North Georgia for sure, because that's where I first got introduced to it. It was one of the plants that we learned about in my my horticulture classes I was taking. And so I can properly identify that one. But it grows down here. It grows in a lot of wooded areas. Okay. So check it out. Learn all that you can. And always make sure you're properly identifying before you're using. Okay. So that is my book and my plant. Miss Dunn, do you have a book that you'd like to talk about?
I have a special book because at the beginning, usually, sometimes I get caught up in other things, but I was doing this on purpose. Have you ever met somebody that just absolutely warmed your heart just being right next to them? Didn't even have to say a word, just warmed your heart. And she came to our church to speak, and she's just absolutely wonderful. I mean, I just thought her spirit, her just precious. I got chills again, but anyways, you just know that she's got so much goodness in her, is what I mean. Anyway, she has a book, and I usually announce it on my show so I don't forget. And the reason is I think that good people deserve blessings.
Yeah.
And if one person sees my show and sees her book, I want that beautiful heart of hers to get blessed. And so I am not kidding when I say you will not be able to put this down. It is called 10 Lost Children by Ann Haskins. And you have got to check this book out. It is amazing what they went through as children. No child. Why am I getting chills so much tonight already? No child should have to go through what they went through. Don't make me cry. Okay.
It was called 10 Lost
10 Lost Children by Ann Haskins, Haskins.
Oh, wow. Yep, I'm going to have to find that.
Is she an Alabamian or is she from?
She lives, I want to make sure, she lives in Oklahoma, but she visits Alabama because her family is here. Her brothers are here, so she visits Alabama a lot and flies back and forth, and then she goes and signs books at certain places, and she's just amazing. I mean, you would never know that she sold one copy of her book as humble as she is, and I love that about her.
It is on Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yes. Okay. That's right. I forget when she first come out. I did do it. I'm sorry. What?
It is now in my cart.
Okay. Good job. Thank you, Rebecca.
That ever-growing Amazon cart.
Hello to everybody just come in the chat in the last few minutes. I see PJ and I seen some
Kathy and
Joe
and
Superfly.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Parker, hey, good to see you,
Yep.
Joe Parker. I seen you the other night on that show, Joe. You very quiet. You sit back and didn't say much. I was hoping you was gonna get stirred up a little bit. He's a little reserved the other night. So.
Yep.
But that was a good show with Chris Reinhardt and them.
Trying to type and I can't type. Can you see the comments on the screen?
I just seen it. I was clapping.
I thought that's what, but I wanted to make sure.
Well, I didn't see them at first, but now I'm seeing them. So I'm seeing them now.
Okay. Yeah, there's usually a little button over on the side you can hit to show the chat that way. And what we'll try to do is after you tell your experience here in a little bit, then I'll let some people try to ask you some questions if you don't mind answering some questions. And
I sure do. Thank you.
I know there'll probably be a few pop up about it and stuff. So thanks.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
What's wrong, baby?
I can't type like this.
Oh, okay. Well, we need to drag it a little closer.
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
We do not need for that screen to be closer to me. It's close enough.
See how humble she is.
You want to ask her what her favorite stuff is?
Well, I was working on it. We were chatting.
All right. Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So I'm having a sweet tooth tonight. I have not had dinner yet.
You said you didn't want dinner.
I know, because I'm having a sweet tooth.
Okay.
Calm down.
You're the one that's
So what is
loud.
your favorite food to eat?
Okay, I have to say my favorite dessert that is bought is bluebell ice cream. I just love Millennium Crunch. I'm addicted to Millennium Crunch ice cream. So this is why I keep my figure. But anyways, I love that ice cream. And then as far as, desserts, my sister has spoiled me. I have a sister that has a cafe in Glencoe, and she absolutely has spoiled us all. We all have this same figure. She's the reason. Anyway. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, she just makes some of the best stuff, and she's got an item on her menu that just, oh my gosh, it's called cheddar crust potatoes and sweet potato souffle, turkey dressing. I mean, she's just got so much, and it's already prepared. You just have to put it in the oven and warm it up. And then all these desserts. Anyways, I just wanted to say a shout out to my sister that works very hard. And anyways, but my favorite personal is butter beans, cornbread, a raw onion, fried chicken, pinto beans, cornbread, and tenderloin. That is my favorite. But you know, pork goes with pintos and chicken goes with butter beans.
Oh yeah.
It all goes together on the same plate. I mean, we good here. Oh my gosh, yeah, I have a good dinner too.
I just love that.
Cook? Do you cook?
Oh Lord, I do a lot of cooking. Now I did blame my sister that I'm chunky, but look, it's me that keeps eating. But I do. I cook like a crazy woman. You hear me? Today I had my stove. I've got pictures and videos. I thought it was so funny. I just took pictures and videos of what all I had on my stove. 2 boilers of butter beans, 2 pounds of cornbread, and 2 things of fried chicken. I was like, who does this?
Well, you have plenty to eat there for the weekend.
Yep. There'll be plenty.
Some precious friends of mine, Sandra and Mike Walker, precious friends, devoted and faithful, and you know I love people like that. Anyways, they brought that over, and they said I wanted to know or wanted you to have some chicken and beans and cornbread, and she said, you fix it and we'll eat it. And she bought all that. I thought that was so precious. Her and Mike bought that all for me to cook and for us to share. And I just thought it was so sweet. Who brings you groceries to cook? And I mean, who does that? That's precious. Anyways, let me see. This is little.
I lost a comment that I want to save for later. There it is. All right. We talked about food.
It's real little. Mark, you got any suggestions about how I can blow the chat up? It's tiny, like real little.
If you're doing that on your phone, there's really not a way.
Are you on the phone?
Yeah, I don't have a computer. I've never owned a computer in my life. Daddy didn't get us a TV till I was 23 years old. He was very strict and old-fashioned.
Well, on your phone, it's going to be what the phone shows it as. I'm sorry about that part.
And I remember on my phone, it would come on and it'd disappear real fast, too.
Yeah. Greg, I just read that. Does she need a half-crippled poo boy? I guess he wants me to make him some butter beans and cornbread.
He just wants you to cook for him and feed him. We good. All right.
That's funny.
All righty. So somebody has already jumped in the comments and beaten you to what you're going to be talking about. But go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. And then I'm going to turn this interview section over to Mark.
Okay, well, I am from a tiny town in Glencoe, Alabama. That's the name of it. It is directly right beside Gadsden. I always say they're like 30 seconds apart. But anyways, it's very, very close. And so Glencoe is where I have grown up my whole life. I just love that sweet little town. And the people in it. And that's why I enjoyed coming over there at y'all's house around that grill and the fire and everything. Just y'all make me feel like family. And so this small town is that same way. I love our little town of Glencoe. Anyways, but I have there's 5 sisters all together, and we traveled and sang for many years, all 5 sisters, and we were called the Garret sisters. And so we were so tired, but we just loved doing that. It was very important to us. I don't know, just you just can't help it sometimes. You just want to raise that hand and give him the glory. He deserves it. But anyways, so
sang with joyful noise.
I would probably sing even if I couldn't carry a tune. I just love singing. But anyways, so we traveled for years and sang in a gospel group, the Garret sisters, and then weddings and then funerals and stuff like that. And then, of course, my sister became LPN, RN, and then the thing above RN, and then the rest of my sisters, Tawana's restaurant. Then everybody had grandkids, and so it got hard to travel and to do what we were doing. So they all focused on their families. I cannot have children. I've lost a child, but can't have children. So my puppies, y'all, I'm not kidding. I don't even see fur on them. I mean, I treat them like they like I give birth or something. I mean, my mother said, Lord, Celena, she said, people should see how you act, but I spoil them right and I put baby powder on them. She said, some human kids are not treated as good as your puppies. But anyway, that's it. We sang, and then they went on with their careers, and for some reason I wanted to keep on singing, and so I did. I sang it, Lord, everywhere. Even did commercials. But anyways, supper clubs and Moose Lodge. I mean, I went everywhere and sang, and realized that you could earn money from that really quick when you win contests and stuff. So I would just love singing. Anyways, after that, I just went into healthcare and was a little nursing assistant, and hard work. I respect anybody, Lord, that does that. And so I became a nursing assistant after that, still working at Sister's Restaurant whenever she needed one of her sisters or her mama to work with. That's how probably we all learned to cook. But anyways, and so after that, for some reason, I think it was 2002, I'm sorry, 2002, I was doing a caregiving position for the sheriff of Marshall County. And it was him and his wife there with his mother-in-law. And he said, you got a personality. I'm sorry, there's a glare. He said, you got a personality that I want at my front desk at the sheriff's department. And I said, the sheriff, you ought to see my face, because like I said, I hadn't done nothing except for a nursing assistant or cook or something, And I said, sheriff's department. And my eyes got real big, and I said, I wouldn't know where to begin at something like that. He said, I'll teach you. And so I moved out behind the sheriff and his wife's house in a little rental property behind their house. And precious people let me live there for rent free. And I went to work at Marshall County Sheriff's Department. And anyways, I just, for some reason, just got to where I liked the respect I got on the job. I stuck with it. I respected everybody else, and tried to until you can't no more, just do the best you can. Well, anyways, I realized real quick that I was a little good at it, just a little, and stuck with it a little while. Anyways, ended up marrying my supervisor. We both went to work and moved to Etowah County Sheriff's Department. And so all my life, even in between there, I worked for community corrections. So all my life, I was taught to pay attention to detail. You know what I mean? Close attention. Because if you don't pay close attention, you get in trouble. And I never wanted that to happen. So I learned real quick just to pay close attention to detail. And so, and logging and things like that, any kind of report. But anyways, so that is what my life consists of. I've been married before, but I choose to just love on my babies and just be with me and my babies.
I understand that.
And you know how it, Becca, you have to know how it is that when you're on your chat, you get asked out a lot and you get compliments. And I say, I am anti-date, anti-marriage, but I'm not. I just joke about that. I think people are really blessed when they find their soulmate. I really do. But I just, at me, I'm all right. I got Netflix and my puppies, so right now I'm pretty happy. Anyway.
All righty.
I understand.
Well, we have had a request.
Okay.
So read your screen.
Okay, now I told you it's a little small. Some of them I can read, some of them I can't. Please sing a little. Lord of mercy. Really? I'm not singing on a live interview about a Bigfoot sighting.
Come on now. You have sang in front of audiences and
I just feel funny because it's an interview about a Bigfoot sighting, and now I do that on my show sometimes just to make people giggle. Like, I forget what it was. Oh yeah, I got on there one day and said, "I'm a subscriber." just being silly, you know? Anyways, but no, I love to sing, so I cut up. If you want to hear me sing, y'all go to my channel and watch me act silly sometimes on some of my shows. But I'm not going to do that on a Bigfoot interview. But thank you.
Oh, well, I feel we are missing out. We are going to have to go watch her channel, guys. I tried. So let's move on. What's next?
Well, we'll go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes, I guess, if you call it that. I know.
I let my baby girl in because I told you she'll tear a door up trying to get to me.
That's
there
fine.
she goes.
You do what you need to do.
Here she is.
This show ain't real. This ain't a professional show. So.
This is not a professional show, and this is not a Bigfoot show. I mean, we're interviewing you for your Bigfoot stuff, but this ain't a Bigfoot show. So
it's a little bit of everything. We're just people coming together to fellowship, and sometimes I don't bring up Bigfoot much on the Friday Night Lives, and sometimes we do, or paranormal. It's just according to what's going on. We just want people to relax, love each other, and fellowship, and of course they want to hear your story. There's no doubt about that. But
yeah, we've already got one question on here, but I'm gonna wait till Mark's ready for it.
We'll do that here in a minute. And well, Miss Dunn, I'll let you go ahead. And I know you was telling me earlier that you seen something one night, and we'll talk about that in a minute before we get into the where you seen the as a lot of us call them boogers around here. We call them really boogers, but Bigfoot. But I know you was talking about now this other sighting of this light. This was before you seen the Bigfoot, right?
Yes, and I know, Lord have mercy, I know how it sounds. That's what I was telling Duke. I said, I know before I tell my story how it sounds, because I know how this sounds. In other words, if somebody else is telling me, it makes you want to sit like this. If somebody else is telling you the story, it makes you want to go, really? Now, really, come on. You know, I can hear myself. But Ginger, I had just got Ginger. And we were living Gadsden State College. Well, y'all can't see my hands that way. But anyways, Gadsden State College was here. And we shared a gate. Like about my backyard was the back parking lot of Gadsden State College. Anyways, Ginger had to go tinkle. And I've worked third shift for 32 years. So I stay up at night, you know. Anyways, I had just got Ginger, and I was trying to potty train her. And anyways, the next thing I know, I opened the back door, and we hadn't had but one actually day that I can remember that was that cold. And it had got down to like 9 or 7 or something extremely low. And Glencoe hadn't had a temperature like that in a while. But anyways, well, I wasn't going to stay but a second long enough to just open the door and let her out. So I opened the door and let her out, and I just was, you know, grabbing the door to pull it back. And I seen something in my sky right there hovering at Gadsden State, right over, you know, right there, almost at my fence, like right here. And I said, what in the world am I just, because it looked like a fire in the sky for a minute. I know that sounds cliche, but it really did the color for a minute. Well, I thought, Lord, let me get my phone, because, you can zoom in. That's why I always say get my phone, so I can zoom in and look closer and see what I am looking at, and see the detail better. So that way you don't doubt what you're looking at. Anyway, so I went and got my phone. And I'm standing out there videoing this thing, and you can see me shaking, because, like I said, I did not have a pair of shoes on. I just had a gown, and went out there barefooted long enough to let her go out. And I'm standing there shaking, and you can see me shaking like this, not because of what I'm seeing, but because I'm so cold, and I refuse to go until I get zoomed in and see what this thing is. But it is on my playlist on my videos. I think it's, the playlist. And I walked up there and just seen this thing, started videoing, and I'm telling you right now, Mark, it looks, I called MUFON the next day, and I said, I have never called MUFON in my life, but I've seen it on TV, and I know people call and report things that are not normal. This was not normal, Mark. This is a woman that at that time was 53 years old, and I knew what was normal and what wasn't, and what I was seeing was not normal. And I thought, okay, I got video as long as I could, and I was freezing. I was literally freezing. And I actually did this thing where people could see the fog, so they'd know the difference between what I'm talking about, the college lights, and the central heating and air unit, so that they could see that central heating and air unit was working overtime, and it was smoldering, looked like the fog stuff. Anyways, and I made sure they seen that, and then I went back up, because I was fascinated with this thing. And I zoomed in to show what the college lights looked like in detail, and then went back up. I mean, it's crazy. And this thing, you'll see when you go look at my videos, it's a ways back, because I've made about 70 videos. Anyways, but if you go look at my videos, I went to church the next morning. I couldn't sleep. And I was in my Sunday school class, and I literally said, y'all, I seen something crazy. And it happened this morning after 3. And I said, can you tell me what this looks like to you? And of course they zoom in, and you know how that phone, everybody's phone has a line, and you can fast forward it with your finger, like fast forward to the next part. If you take and go shot by shot at this thing, it looks like it's a human, huge hand, and then it goes to another shape, and then another shape. And I just was sitting there thinking, oh my gosh. Well, I shut the back door back, and Ginger came back in the house. It was so cold, and she noticed nothing. I was asked a question one time, did your dogs bark at this thing? And I said, no. Ginger was sniffing. She didn't even pay attention to this thing. And it was me that was going, what am I looking at? But anyways, and I've never seen that. Like, y'all, I've never seen nothing like what I'm fixing to talk about. And I've never seen anything strange in the sky except a tornado storm or something. You know what I mean? I mean, this kind of stuff is all new to me, and it's confusing, and it will play with your mind if you don't watch it. It will, because you'll puzzle yourself so much about what you've just seen that it makes you feel like you're going out of your mind. Anyways, and so I just finally, everybody kept saying, Celena, it looks this way, it looks this way. And I like I said, I called MUFON, and I said, look, something was in my sky right over Gadsden State, right there at the backyard. And I said, it is nothing. It is not silver in color. It is not triangle. It is not round, as if, the old-fashioned term was, what was it, flying saucer, because they were round. This thing was not one particular shape. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen. And it kept a firm shape on the outside. It never moved, not the outside, but on the inside of this thing, I got chills. It looked like something like trying to bust out of it. Y'all go watch it. Go watch it and be honest with me. Tell me what you think. But you won't be able to identify this thing. MUFON said, I'll call you in a couple of weeks when we figure it out. And I ain't heard it from them. And it's been a long time. It's been a pretty long time. So they can't figure it out either, I guess. Y'all, I can't. That writing on my phone is so tiny. I wished I could respond to you, but Mark and Becca might have to help me read some of them. It looks like just little tiny little black dots. That's all I can see.
I'm popping up their comments.
Okay.
No questions at the moment.
Okay.
You can read all them later on a replay.
Okay. Thank you so much, because I can't. It just little black dots.
You talking about what you? I'm gonna definitely go back and watch that. And a friend of ours that happened to be in the chat, Mr. Tennessee Cherokee, him and Jeffy and Mr. Cliff caught something at Hollins back in late May. That was kind of up in the air, and then our friend Kumbo, him and his wife, also caught something one night. So I'm gonna have to go look at your video and then go look at Mr. Tennessee's picture and go look at Kumbo's picture. I'm gonna say I need to see how much they are close together. And
nobody can explain it, Mark. People says it looks like a humongous human hand like this, because it looks like this for a second or a couple seconds, and then it changes total. It goes from one thing to another, like it wouldn't stay one particular, design. It kept changing designs. It was strange, very, very strange.
Yeah, that's and don't think that folks in this chat ain't seen crazy stuff. You wouldn't. I mean, if I told you everything I've heard, I mean, you would think Lord Mark's lost his mind. But this world, this paranormal, Bigfoot, whatever you want to really call it, world, it's a totally different world when you get involved in it, and you really start seeing what people are capturing, what they're seeing, and you really realize real quick there's a lot more to this earth than we know is here.
Yeah. It's got to be, because I knew I wasn't seeing, like, it wasn't my imagination. And like I said, it was too cold for me to want to stay outside. I'm like all the time wanting to stay warm. But I thought, I've got to, and you can see literally my hand shaking. I was just beside myself. But can I say something before we go on, Mark? I feel led to say this.
Okay,
I don't know why. I don't know why. I just feel led to say this. I watched an interview of y'all's, and you had a guest, and her name was Miss V.
Yes.
And I sat there like this the whole time. I mean, it was like I was watching a really good movie, and I couldn't break away. And I just kept watching her, and I thought, this woman has been through enough to literally kill 10 people, and so strong. And I thought, my God, but for some reason I thought she is a tough gal. And I just love that, a tough gal. And I thought she has been through so much, and she has just come out the other side strong, and just, I sit there just wanting to, she may see this or she may not, but I'm telling you, I was impressed. I'm telling y'all, I was impressed by her. I was so impressed by her. I thought, not only was she a good person, but the things she's been through, and to come out in the position with all the experience that she's got and still standing, I thought she was fascinating. So I wanted to thank you for having her on your show, and because it really touched me. I don't know why that story. I don't know if it was the law enforcement in me or something. I thought I got to tell them how special that show was to me. It just really was. It's like I resonated with things she was saying. So.
Well, she's in the chat right now. She's there. So.
Hey, Miss V. Oh my goodness!
Comment on the screen now. The Not So Perfect Bigfoot Show.
Lord, I can't read it. Tell me what it says, because you know I'm a big fan
My
of hers.
friends here have made me stronger in my faith in God. We got this together like a family. Thank you, beautiful lady.
Oh my God. She said that to me?
Yeah.
We'll have
Oh
to
my
get you in.
God.
I'll have to get you in contact with Miss B.
Miss
I
B is
cannot believe
awesome.
she said that.
Well,
I could cry.
after
That's the
I'll,
sweetest thing.
we'll get y'all together. We'll get y'all together. I know she'd like to talk to you too, so we'll get y'all together. Miss V is a very
Thank
good
you.
woman.
Let me run
Always.
and get some Kleenex. Let me get a Kleenex. I'll be right.
Oh,
Think she's standing a little.
hey, ain't nothing wrong with
I
that.
love Miss V. I mean,
And y'all go. I don't always get to watch every video Miss V does, but
she's
y'all,
got a good channel.
she's got a good channel. She's got good people coming on, and y'all support Miss V. She's a very good woman, and I call her a sister.
Yep.
And she may be a literal sister and went through the Lumbee blood.
Could be.
Uh,
I always said you'd find people you related to long enough you talk to them. They're gonna be related to everybody, seriously.
might be related to Miss Dunn. So you never know.
Yep.
Oh man. No, she's a very good woman, and I will put y'all in touch with each other where you can talk to her.
Thank you so much.
I know
I
she'd
had
be
no idea I didn't know she was in here. That's like me telling you, don't you tell Becca that she's got the cutest little figure. And other times you probably heard me.
Same things you do for the same things you do, because I like to eat.
Oh, Lord.
Oh man. Well, I know that you had another life-changing moment, and that was just out trying to do your job one day, and all of a sudden had something pop up that you wasn't expecting. So I'll just let you go ahead and get started in that when you're ready to, and you know, however you want to do it, Miss Dunn, you just take off with it.
Okay, thank you, Mark and Becca. I am one of those things people don't like to see coming. Like I said, I've had good and bad experiences. I've met some of the sweetest people in this position, and then I've met some pretty scary folks in this position. I can't even say y'all at this point. I've cried so much when I was thinking. Anyways, okay, put your glasses on. Anyways, I was just gonna tell y'all. I was served from a hospital, and I cannot stand that word serve. I know it's something that, so I'm a process server. Anyways, and so when my knee got hurt, I had to have a knee replacement, and I had to do something that I thought was safe enough that I didn't, hurt my knee anymore. But you have no idea how some of these residents can be. Before you think, hey, I'm going to be a process server, it's safe. But anyways, what I'm saying is I've been served myself. So when I go and serve, I don't even say the word serve. I say, and I'm going to give you an example. I have a delivery, a paperwork delivery is how I put it, because I just don't even like the word serve. Anyways, I say I have a paperwork delivery, and I've got one in my hand. I'm not going to show you the name, but anyways, I got to do about 3 tomorrow. But anyways, I just say I got a paperwork delivery for Mark Green. And if Mark Green is not available, but Becca is, because she lives with him, I would present the papers to Becca. It's called a subserve, right? As long as you're giving it to somebody that lives with that person. And so, anyways, August the 7th, Lord of mercy, August the 7th, the son lived here. The mother and daddy lived across the street. And then that's it. There's an old barn, and then there was an old logging trailer, with the poles on it, but no truck, just the trailer. And I was heading to Piedmont, and I knew that anybody that knows anything about Host Bluff or Piedmont or anything like that, you'd head down 278 to get to it, So I got down 278, and it would tell me to take a left on Beasley, and the next thing you know, it would tell me where to go from there. Thank God for GPS. Anyways, and so I am going down the road, and I am, thinking, what a pretty drive. That's what I'm thinking. What a pretty drive. And I had already been to this place 3 times. I had been at 12 noon, 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. I think was the 3 times. Well, I couldn't catch anybody there. Well, see, as a process server, you don't make any money unless somebody's there. And so I thought, I've got to keep working, hurt me or not. So, anyways, so then I pulled up. I thought, if I go early enough, maybe I can catch them leaving for work, because I had already tried it 3 different times and nobody's home. And I thought, I'll just go early enough to maybe catch them leaving for work. And so I went and I arrived, and it was right there. Let me see. Well, the pictures actually have the exact time. I want to say it was a little after 7, because I remember thinking I ain't even pulling on people's properties till 7, and I shouldn't do that to 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Because people get up irritable and stuff. And I didn't, Lord, like I said, had a knee replacement, and I wanted to just step out of my car and just do this. Mr. Green, you have a paperwork delivery, or I have a paperwork delivery for Mr. Green. And that's how smooth it was supposed to go, right, guys? And it didn't go that way. It didn't go that way at all. Anyways, and so when I pulled up, I thought, I don't see any lights on in the house, but it's early. So I'll give them time to wake up. I'll start seeing people cut on their lamps. I just kept my eyes focused on that house. And I thought, well, nobody's opened their blinds yet. And I'm sitting here with my flashers on. Don't ever pull up on anybody's property in Alabama, because they love shotguns, and they will come outside with a shotgun if they don't know you, especially that early or late. And anyway, so I thought, just leave your flashers on, move a little closer to the house. I pulled up a little bit closer, just kept my focus on that house, because you never know who's going to come out saying, can I help you with something? Or what are you doing on my property? You don't know which way it's going to go. You know what I'm saying? So you've got to be on guard, as they say. And so I had my eye on the house, and I kept watching them blinds. For some reason, I thought, Lord of mercy, because any movement would let me know, okay, somebody's up. Somebody's fixing to either approach me, or I need to step out of my car very kindly and approach them. And so anyways, but I thought, Lord of mercy, and I would just glance up at that house, and I wouldn't see any movement, and I'd look back in front of me. Well, it was this amazing. Yeah, when I say amazing, Alabama, as you know, has some beautiful property, just green. Like they always tell me, my favorite place in the world I wanted to go all my life was Ireland. I've always wanted to visit Ireland. So I was fascinated with the grass in Ireland. I just thought it was beautiful. Well, I remember thinking, this grass on this property is some of the prettiest property I've ever seen. Trees for what looks like miles. I have no idea how large this property was, but it was just beautiful. That's all you see. And then a house and a house. That's it. And so he wasn't home, so I went, like I said, across the street to the mama's and the daddy's house, and kept watching, and nothing. So I would just glance up every once in a while and look at my windshield and just think to myself, how pretty, how pretty. And then I glanced back up, and I glanced out the front windshield, just so happened to look up, and when I did, it was there. It was there. And it was very large. It was very black. And that's when you do this. That's when you grab stuff in your car and you clean your windshield, making sure, okay, I'm not seeing nothing. I just seen a speck that looked a little large or something. I mean, you start doubting everything about your intelligence. I honestly believe that. I mean, you just, all sense goes slap out the window when you see something that large. I'm sorry. Anyways,
Okay, that's okay.
so
Take your
my
time.
point is, it's just, you have to go through this, and you have to relive it. And it's like instead of it getting easier, the longer you tell it, it's like you have to think back, and it is like, wait a minute, I was in shock then. But now I'm not in shock, and I'm still in shock. Does that make sense? Anyways,
Yeah, that does.
so
It does.
Anyway, so I just, like I said, I did the windshield thing, making sure it wasn't the windshield. And I had the reason I do this, it's almost as if I was DoorDash or something. You have to take a picture of wherever you're at, because the company is very strict. They want to know that you're where you say that you are. You know what I'm saying? They want to know that I'm giving paperwork to Mark Green, not Tom Bosley or what. You know what I'm saying? They want to know it's going to you, and that I'm not just telling them I give it to you. So they're pretty strict. But anyways, and so I take my phone is on a holder in the windshield, and I just grab my phone and I say click. And now keep in mind, I still don't want to get shot. I don't want to get shot. It's early in the morning. And sometimes before you even get a chance to explain to people why you're on their property, they're huffing and puffing mad at you. They don't even know what you got in your hand, but they do know that you got something in your hand. So they're defensive in the first place. So I kept my eye on that house, and when I seen that, I took a picture of it, but I still did not zoom in because I was still focused. Well, that couldn't have been what I thought it was. You know what I mean? So I was still focused on that house, worried somebody was going to come out and blow my brains. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'll check it when I get home. I'll zoom in when I get home. I'll check my phone. Well, anyways, the next thing I know, I just took and glanced back. It's almost like you don't want to glance back up. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to. That's your windshield, but it's almost like you don't want to glance back up. And I glanced back up, and there was two. And I said, it wasn't mine. There's something really there. And this one totally built different, totally looked different. This one was... Anyways, this one was absolutely, y'all, when I say, gosh, I bumped my knee. It was gray, and it was thinner, and it was shorter, and it was almost a bony looking thing compared to the other one. That black one, y'all, I swear, now when I see anything black, going down the road in anywhere that I see something large and black, no matter if it's a refrigerator or what, I swear, I just sit there and I just stop what I'm doing, because it just left such an impression in me that something this large could be living, could have breath, could be functioning, that something that large exists. And I had always, just, you see videos, you know what I mean? You see them, and then you think, well, they ain't found no bodies. They've not found bones. Nothing's been found. And so, but I got to watching, and I'm not kidding about this. I am as serious. I got to watching some documentaries, and these documentaries, Martin Becker, both. I'm telling you, I said to myself, now these things. I don't see, I told Becca earlier, I don't see a seam. I don't see a zipper. I don't see a stitch. The material's not rolling. Something that large. No human on the face of this earth. Bodybuilder, steroid user, it don't matter. I'm telling you, I've never seen shoulders or a person or a thing, a living creature or anything like this thing, this black one. The smaller one, like I said, was smaller, built different, but it had something, and like I said, I know how this sounds before I say it. It had deer antlers stuck on its head. Well, for a minute, I thought that was growing out of its head the way I was looking at it, but it had deer antlers, almost as if, you know how, I guess you would say a lady at a wedding, a bride would wear her. That's how it had deer antlers sitting around its head, like it had made it a homemade hat or something. And God, that sounds crazy. Anyways, so I just took and something come all over me. And I just took and did this. Now, don't ask me why I did this. I still can't explain to this day why I did this. But I took my camera and I went like this at my left shoulder and I went click, 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 click. And I did some kind of, I did this, click, 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 click. And I did that because I don't know. I thought, what if there's something I can't see in front of? You know what I'm saying? That feeling like, just in case. And when I got home, I couldn't believe what I was, and I just kept looking at it like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? You know, and I thought, Matt, no, you know, I don't know. But anyways, I kept doubting what was on my phone. And I thought, I've got to send it to some of my friends. I got to find out what they think. I need to ask people I know. I mean, the UFO thing was one thing, but that was up there. You know what I'm saying? Right. That was up there. It's bad enough that it was up there, but you know what I mean? This was right here. And people say, how far was it from? How far was it away? And I said, I'm not good at feet. I've never been good at feet. But I said, I will tell you, I run a 50-yard dash. And for some reason that stuck in my head. It was the distance from work, the distance I run a 50-yard dash in school. And that's all I could tell you about the distance it was from me. But anyways, let's see. Anyways, I didn't mean to speed through when I got home and looked at pictures and found, because see, I didn't look till I got home. I thought, God, anyways, when I seen them, like I said, I was just in some kind of shock. And I think only 2 times in my life I've experienced shock. I had 2 car wrecks in 9 months. And my girls took the blunt for me. I had them sitting on my left side on a pillow. And we were on our way to do some serves, and they hit me in my left side. Well, if I was black and blue all over, I can't imagine how my little babies took that blunt, but of that wreck. But anyway, and then I was hit again by a construction crew 9 months later in the side, and because I travel so much. But I thought, I've never seen, never, thought I'd see something like this. It bothered me for a long time, y'all. It bothered me real bad because I know how other people are made fun of. And so I know, and how can I put this without being ugly? I don't mean to be ugly, I promise. I mean no disrespect. But I love being joyful. Law enforcement wore me out 12 hours a day with a lot of negative constantly for 12 hours. I mean, they would find out, people would find out the most personal thing about you. And they would throw that up in your face, tell you they've been with your husbands. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Law enforcement for 12 hours can wear somebody out. It can wear them out for 8 hours. Anyways, and so I just was like, I knew how people was made fun of when they made reports. So you're talking about somebody juggling, not wanting to tell nobody, but yet wanting to know what was I looking at in these pictures. Anyway, so let me tell you this part, and then I'll go back to the pictures.
If you need to take a break now, you're more welcome.
What it is, I changed chairs. I rearranged my room and changed chairs, and this one is not as comfortable as the. Anyways, but let me tell you this last part, and then we'll go back to the pictures. And but this was funny to me, and this is why I want to add this. When I started to leave the property, I still was focused on that house, watching them blinds, still was sitting there, so it's like I wasn't breathing. And I remember telling Duke, he was my first interview, and I said, Duke, Ginger, that's Mama's blouse. Anyway, she's undressing me trying to get in my lap. But anyways, I remember keeping my eye on them blinds. For some reason, that was still on my mind till I got out of the driveway. And then watching them, and I literally held my breath backing out of the driveway. And my gear shift, this is stuck in my head. Let me just use this. My gear shift was right here in between the seats, and I was scared to remove my gear shift. And I had a house fire. And they say that when you're in shock, you do something that you can't control. Like you lose all thought of what to do. You know what I mean? Like during my house fire, I opened the door, which they say not to do that. But I mean, my God, your mind goes to a place that you're scared you're fixing to burn up. And I swung open my front door, and I remember spanking my babies because they wouldn't leave me. And they wouldn't leave me and run outside, and the house was on fire. So I kept spanking them, and I kept saying, baby, get out of the house is on fire. Anyways, and so finally they all took off at that one time. It's like they all just took off at once and run. And the fire department pulled up, by the way, and I'm giving this as an example. And I said, please get my babies. They said, ma'am, somebody's house around here is on fire. We got to find that house. We're not worried about catching puppies. I said, it's my house. Please get my babies before they get hit by a car. I had to get them outside. Anyways, I'll never forget that. But Glencoe Fire Department, y'all are awesome. Just so you know, Glencoe Fire Department is very special to my heart, and the police department. Anyways, but my mind, when they told me, the fireman told me what I did, I was in shock. And they say that you usually don't think straight. So I had grabbed, now this is not going to make any sense, but like I said, shock. I had grabbed the dish spaghetti strainer. I grabbed out of all there was to grab in my house. I grabbed a spaghetti strainer. I don't know. I just wanted to save one thing that was mine, I guess, and I was in shock, and I just grabbed that spaghetti strainer. Anyways, that'll stick in my head forever. But when I went to use my gear shift and put it in reverse, it was like I was scared I was going to break my gear shift. And I remember thinking, I'm scared to put it in reverse. But I got to back out of here. I can't drive on these people's grass. I can't, because you ain't supposed to do that. And I thought, I don't want to get stuck. And I thought, just put it in reverse. Just watch that house, watch that, whatever the mess that is, and just keep your eye, but I don't know. I'm still watching that house though, because I know how people can be cruel sometimes. And, but I was focused on this, and yet I was scared I was going to break my gear shift. It made no sense whatsoever, and that sticks out to me. I cannot forget what happened with my gear shift. Is that not crazy? And, darling, what's the matter, darling? Well, Lord, I've just turned my chair and everything up. But anyways, y'all have to forgive me. Little mama just turned 84, and she was sitting here crying, wanting on the bed with the other two puppies. Well, Lord, I wasn't gonna not put her up there. Who would let her cry? Anyways, so yes, I turned over my chair and everything. But anyway,
that's all right. Ain't no problem.
So I got it in reverse, and they had a sign actually on a tree. And it says no open road, which meant the road ended right there at their house. And so I backed up, and I mean, like I said, I let out I don't know how to explain it. It's like I had held my breath for so long that when I finally did breathe, it got my own attention because it was an out loud, like it was strange, so strange. The whole thing was strange. But anyway, so when I backed out of the driveway and I hit the asphalt is when I think, I don't know, something. I hit that gas, and I mean, I flew to the end of that road where there was a stop sign. And I guess I was in enough, frame of mind right that I would stop. So, especially being in some wrecks. Anyways, so I looked to the right and I looked to the left. And when I looked to the left, remember, I was at the very end of the street, like the opposite end. The house was at the end of this street, and at the opposite end was a stop sign. When I got to that stop sign, I looked right, I looked left, and there was this big exclamation. I stopped right where I was at, and I said, click. And I still don't even, who was worried about an exclamation after seeing what I seen? But for some reason, I took my camera and went click, because I had not seen as many times as I have been to this house. Now remember, this is the fourth time, just at a different time. As many times as I have been to this house trying to serve these people with their documents, I've never seen not one exclamation. You see what I'm saying? And when this happens, I look to my left at the stop sign and see that. So I take a quick picture and I am gone. I am gone. I called. Let me look where she's sitting. I am right here sitting on the tip of my seat because she has took over my chair, and it's a little bit chair. But look, when you love your babies, you don't care. You'll sit on the floor just to let them have the chair. I do. Anyway, but when I got home, it was on my mind so bad. I took and forwarded every picture I had. And I took, when I went click, 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 click real quick, I took every picture, everything, and sent it to my friend Sandra and her husband. And I said, I need y'all to look at these, and I need you to look at them in detail, and I need you to try not to look at them on a little phone, because if I can see them by my phone, you need to blow them up and look at them, because my phone's little anyway. And I said, so blow it up big as you can, zoom in, do whatever you got to do, but tell me what you see. Tell me if I'm crazy. I just couldn't get it out of my mind, because I knew people think you're crazy when you see stuff like that. And here's what I was going to tell you a while ago. I have, and I'm apologizing ahead of time for saying this, I have what you call a Fred Garrett temper. If I say something and I'm not lying about it, don't tell me I'm lying. You know what I mean? I don't do too well with that. When I told you the truth about something, I don't do too well with people saying, you didn't see that, you didn't do that. And I'm like, yes, I did do that. Don't tell me I didn't do that. I am one of these people, I told you, that was OCD at logging, at reporting, at paying attention to detail. So don't tell me I didn't see something. So I had a hard time with wanting to tell anybody, because I didn't want to be ridiculed, because I know my temper, and I didn't want nobody to be ugly. I want to tell people what happened, but I didn't want to be ridiculed. Well, that's all that's, when you go get your channel and you share and people comment, you get that, Well, I got to thinking about it, and I thought, what am I getting upset for? They wasn't there. Why am I letting that bother me? And they're not the one that experienced it. I was. Why am I letting it bother me? And I got to where my show went from telling, here's what I'd say every time on my show. If you have any questions about my sighting that happened August the 7th, I'd be glad to answer them. But we're going to discuss some other things. And so my show is not just a Bigfoot show. It's like yours. I discuss everything. And most of the time I'm answering questions the whole time that people are, writing in about. But I had a rough time with wanting to talk about this. And Duke Sullivan, I thought, I've seen his show. I'm going to send him my pictures. Well, I get a phone call, and it's Duke. Or no, excuse me, I tell the story. I'm sorry. I got an email, and it was Duke Sullivan from World Bigfoot Center. And Duke said, "Can I call?" And I gave Duke my number. And Duke called me and said, "Celena, I've just sent your pictures to MK Davis." And I said, "You what?" Because I have seen MK Davis's work, because I told you I've watched many documentaries and many shows, because I just thought, where's the proof if these things live? Where's the proof? Well, look, I've seen them, and I'm telling you, they exist. We may not have proof yet, but these things exist. But I sent them to, like I said, I sent them to people saying, "Do y'all see what I see?" And they're like, "What is that?" Well, I'm sorry I've gone on so long about it, but it's very emotional. Like one minute you'll be like, okay, and the next minute you'll get chills and think, "Lord, I seen that thing." I mean, it's crazy. And I just thought, "Lord, what is going on?" I got to see if I'm the only one that's seeing what I'm looking at in these pictures. And come to find out, MK Davis took some blur out. And his, what do you call that, premiere, when he had me on his show doing an interview, his premiere was that big black thing that I seen that scared me so bad. So when he did his premiere, there was the black and white picture of this big old thing on his premiere. And I just stood there, and I thought, out of all the pictures that Duke could have used, he used the picture of that big black thing. You know what I mean? But hey, whatever it took. He's so funny, and he's a good host, and he's very serious when he wants to be, and then he can make jokes with you and make you relax a little bit. So I actually did pretty good on his show. So when y'all asked me a couple of days ago, I'm so pleased and so tickled that y'all asked me. But I'm still touchy about this thing. Even with y'all, you're telling me it's okay, Celena. There's things out there we can't understand, and that don't mean you're crazy. It's okay. A lot of people, I know you're telling me that. But in my mind, I have to see things in black and white. Before I'm going to believe it. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't explain this thing. And I couldn't tell others about it. I would try to get it out. And anyways, when I looked at the pictures, it wasn't just Bigfoots that I seen. When I had went click, 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 there was an old shed over here. Come to find out, it was, what do they call, dilapidated. The shed was falling in. Well, I didn't know all that. I just did this real quick and then went home and looked at the pictures. But anyways, inside the pictures of that shed, this picture that nobody can go inside that shed because it's the roof's falling in and they're just letting it collapse because it's so old, Anyways, in one of the pictures, there's three faces. A man with a cowboy hat, a very clear person at the bottom of the ladder, and one looking to the left. Y'all go back. Did you see that in that picture? I mean, that's crazy. So not only did I see the two Bigfoots in front of me, I get home and I find this stuff in the shed and these Bigfoots all around me. I could only see the two when I was sitting there in these people's driveway. So maybe in some deep, I don't know, y'all might can explain it for me, but in some deep way, did I know there was others? Is that why I did this right quick? I don't know. I still can't figure it out.
Well, that's something. That's something I don't know if any of us can really answer why sometimes we do the things we do. But if you come to a lot of these shows, you'll start noticing that it seems that, as we call it, the paranormal and the Bigfoot kind of mix up together. It's like if there's paranormal going on, there's a good chance Bigfoot's going to be going on, or vice versa. It's we don't know if they are together or if one just gets drawn to the other one, and it's just a hard question to answer. None of us really knows, but it seems like they are kind of together. And like your pictures, and we didn't get to put them on like we wanted to. We didn't have time to get them uploaded onto the show, and I apologize for that. But I know people go over to your channel and over to other channels to see them, and I apologize for that. But there are a lot of people's pictures a lot of times, and people tell you just all kind of crazy things happens with this stuff, and it's hard to explain it. And of course, with me being raised in the church, being a believer in Christ, I start leading I can't even speak, leaning toward stuff from the Bible, being biblical, being spiritual. That's the way I start looking. I know a lot of folks don't like that when I say that, because a lot of folks think different, and that's fine. We're all entitled to our beliefs.
Opinion, yes.
But there's both of these go together. It's hard to explain it. I don't know if we'll ever know that answer. But in that reaction you done that day, that could have been the Lord having you do that. He could have been pushing you to take those pictures.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And I believe this. There's certain ones of us, I believe, are meant to see these things for a reason, either to tell other people about it, or, well, I think to tell people about it, to be witnesses to what's going on. And if you need to take a break a minute now, you go.
No, I'm good. And thank y'all for being so kind about all this. Y'all have been so wonderful since the first day I met you. And just thank you so much for letting me tell my story and having you patience that you have.
Well, now, you went back to the people.
Oh, yes, I did. To make sure I had seen what I had to go back. I wanted to see if those things were still there, if it was just my mind, it was crazy. I went back the next day. I made the serve. I hate that word. I'm sorry. I delivered their court documents. I subserved the mother because the son wasn't home. And so since he wasn't home, I went across the street and, she took the serve. Anyways, while I was there, there was nothing in that beautiful green meadow. And I'm laughing now because it still blows my mind that, in other words, it makes you feel better. Like that wasn't me hallucinating. You know what I mean? Anyways, but you can still, Ginger, look here, little girl. I guess I'll stand up in a minute if she don't move. But anyways, let Mama sit on the very edge, baby. But Lyle, Ginger, y'all excuse me a minute. She's only just over a year old, but look how big she is. She's like a miniature horse. Anyways, get over her, baby. Lay down for Mama. And anyways, I went and served her. And as she come out of the house, it tickles me, us Alabama folks. I had caught her getting out of the shower, and she come out with a towel on her head. She was the sweetest thing. And it tickles me now that I look back and I think about watching that house and scared somebody was going to come out with a gun and that sweet little woman in there, So that goes to show you how your defenses are up and you think like somebody's going to be, because I've had some really been shot at and everything else. I'm not kidding. Anyways, so when she come out of the house with a towel on her head, and she come to my car and she put her head down like this, and I said, I've got a delivery for her, And so I said, will you take it? And can I subserve you? And she said, yes. And she was very, very kind. And before she walked away, I just, something, you couldn't help it. I said, can I show you something? And that I caught on your property yesterday. And she said, sure, let me run the house and get my glasses. And so she ran back in the house and got her glasses. And she come back out, and I'll never forget, this is how she did when she was looking at my phone. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think about this. That's how she said it. That's how she looked. That I just don't know what to think about this. She's looking at my phone, and that's the response I got. And I said, okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much. And anyways, I forget. I want to say, Lord, y'all, I should know this thing like how long was it? I got a phone call from the person I was supposed to serve, the son that lived across the street. I got a phone call from him saying, you showed my mama some pictures. And will you meet me Saturday at 12 noon? I got something I want you to see. I'll show this, and I know it sounds crazy, but he said, I'll show you what I got if you'll show me what you got this coming up Saturday at 12 noon. Well, I was curious. I said, absolutely. So I went over there, and I had my phone with all my pictures. And he's got Polaroids. I mean, they're paper, like those old-fashioned. He said, this has been going on for years. He said, my grandmother and granddaddy lived out in the field over here. Their house is down now. They're gone. And he said, but she would call me, son, get up here. They're in my garbage again. I can hear them talking. It sounds like they're talking. They're in my garbage. Hurry, son, hurry. And he said he would take off to his grandmother's house. And he said there was footprints in the snow. They had tore down a bunch of, I forget every time. It happens every time. The things you make fishing poles out of. Somebody help me out. The green, hard
Green poles.
Bamboo.
And so anyways, and they had knocked a bunch of those down. Y'all know how hard it is to push on one of those things or try to break them. And I was fascinated. I said, oh my Lord, he had 18-inch footprints in the snow now, 17-inch footprints, 14-inch. Well, I got to tell you, it was wonderful hearing that somebody else had seen and gone through something that I had gone through. And then all of a sudden, this little loud, obnoxious, beautiful, precious, she's so funny, precious lady, Lanita Bryant, contacted me and said, can I buy you lunch at Red Lobster? And I said, Lord, you know me. What do I say? No, I'll just have coffee. I don't want you buying my lunch, But anyway, before 10 minutes was gone by, I felt like I had known her my whole entire life. She made me feel better about what I had seen. She made me feel better. My best friends, Sandra and Mike Walker, they looked at these photos and they, with a fine-tooth comb, and they made me feel better. And so I thought, okay, it's not my imagination. I've already had the landowner, the homeowners tell me, so maybe, just maybe, I can tell it. But I'm telling you, I was so afraid, and I was right to be afraid, because I get a lot of ugly comments when I'm doing lives, a lot of ugly comments from people that wasn't there. But I think I've got to where now I turned 54, October 14th. And I'll be honest with you, I think I'm okay now. It don't matter what you type. I've seen it. I'm okay with it. You're the one that's, has no imagination and cannot understand the truth. So until you see it, you're not going to believe it. Because I don't even believe it sometimes, and I've seen them. You know what I mean? So, of course, it's going to be hard for other people to not believe what you're telling them or even what you show them. I mean, I've had a family member herself, which there's a little distance now because of it, but she said, I don't see what you're seeing. I don't see nothing. And I'm like, what? I mean, everybody sees it and you don't. But anyways, people just don't want to. They just don't want to believe it. And I'm glad I got pictures. And y'all go and please not only look at the pictures of the old shed on the property, but also go look at that video of that thing in the sky. Tell me what y'all think that is. I'm so blown away by every bit of this because I'm not a girl who sees things. You know what I mean? I don't go around to each every day and see some new a creature or something new in the sky. This is all new and it's raw and it don't feel good sometimes. I'm telling you, it don't feel good when you're sitting here saying, I still can't believe that that thing could have snapped me like a twig. And yet I'm sitting there in my car. It could have broke my windows just like that. It could have picked the car up. That's how huge this thing was. And then looking back up and seeing that little gray, scrawny one with the deer thing. I mean, that's, you know what I mean? There was such a difference. It was like, I don't know. It was like almost seeing a mountain rise up in front of you, a big black mountain, and then seeing the smaller gray one that actually had more personality. The black one, I could see the gray one's features, but the black one was, you couldn't see no eyes, no. This thing, it was rough. It was rough looking at something like that because, I mean, you're trying to comprehend what you said. I'm sorry I talked so long.
No, you fine, ma'am. I understand completely. And when you see your first booger, I'm always referred to them as boogers. When you first see your first one, it brings you to reality. And people who haven't seen them, they just don't understand what you've seen. And you can explain it 15 million ways to them.
That's right.
If they don't want to believe it, they're not going to believe it. And
that's right.
And I'll tell you, let me give you a little. Me and Rebecca, our stepdaughter, or my stepdaughter, her daughter, and another girl, we were in the Talladega National Forest. And this is where our eyes, sometimes each one of us has our own individual what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Me, my stepdaughter, and her friend witnessed a Bigfoot step out into a road. We seen the body, we seen the figure, but Rebecca seen a fog. She said, a moving fog. So this is where all of us see things a little different. That's why when somebody tells me, well, I see this, and I look at it and I say, well, that don't exactly look like it, but I'm not going to doubt them because they're seeing it in a little different light than I am. And I'm not saying what you got is, you know, I'm just saying all of us see a little different, but I see enough that I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm looking at what I'm looking at. Just like the day you seen what you saw, and just like the first day I saw what I saw down in Lowndes County, Alabama, back in 2007.
I've been to that county.
Yes, ma'am. That's a very rural county, beautiful county. A lot of beautiful farmland, but you right. You start questioning yourself. You start saying, "Did I see what I saw?"
And well, that was the first thing out of my mouth that day: is, "Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?"
Right. So so, but you're right here right now with some of the best people that you could ever be with. Most of them are our channel, Woodwalkers, and Miss V, and Chris Reinhardt, and the Beast TV crew, and some others, all are in here. And you're with very good people. Majority of these people in here have had some kind of experience one time or another in their life. A lot of them have had tons of experience. They have them on their property, just like me and Rebecca have them visit us. And on my hunting club, it's 2 miles away. And you see how you just come to reality. You figure out there's more to this earth than
what you were taught,
about what we've been taught. History has not taught us correctly. I think a lot of it's been hidden on purpose, but that's another topic for another day that we could talk about we could talk all night about what's been covered up. And, there's even a lot of folks, thinks that the government knows about them, which I think they do. And they want to cover it up. But why? I have no idea. But,
Mark, I mean, I got to tell you this. The reason I'm saying that, making a remark to your government comment. I have family, and some of them are military, and they do know. I just wanted to let you know they know.
Yeah, they do. I've got friends in law enforcement. I got some other friends in some other places, and yeah, they know they exist. In fact, we got several people in this chat that's either ex-law enforcement or still involved in it that they know they exist. So, but don't ever let nobody tell you that you've seen something else when you've seen what you saw, because you're right. They were not there. They don't know what you were seeing. You were the one there in that moment witnessing this. And because, a lot of people say, well, you seen a bear, or you seen a shadow, or you seen this. No, I didn't. I did not see that. I seen what I saw, just like that day in Lowndes County, Alabama. I witnessed a juvenile booger. I think that's what he was. And we went and found tracks later on in that area. And then they just on and on evidence started piling up. In fact, I done an interview today, or a recording that will come out later this week, with a gentleman. He was in this chat earlier that witnessed a booger in the same area I did 22 years before I did. Maybe a mile and a half apart. That tells me those boogers have been in that area for that long. And you just sit there, like you just said, you went to these people's property to serve papers. I hate to say the word serve. I understand what you're saying. You're minding your own business. You're just trying to do your job, make you a little pay. And all of a sudden, bam, that just jumps out in your lap, just like it did me that day. And you're going like, what do I do with this? Who do I talk to?
It was supposed to be just hand the paper and get in the car and leave and make my money and if my day be good. And then that's not what happened. And that it blows my mind. I mean, I just cannot. So when I have people that are in the military and they are in my own family and they tell me things, let's just say things, and then I have naive people that comes on my chat and says, you just seen a bear. I want to be Fred Garrett. As I told you earlier, I want to be my daddy. He was a preacher, but he never took nothing. He was about this tall, but he never took nothing. It was like he was real tall according to his personality. And he was so kind and humble, but you didn't ever want to hurt him or anybody he loved, because he turned into a man this big instead of this big. And I feel like daddy then. I want to get a hold to somebody. I want to shake them and say, you have no idea what you're sitting there saying. I can't tell you right now, but you have no idea. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do, shake them.
Well, I've had people walk up to me and say, I want to tell you something crazy. And I look at them and I said, you can't tell me nothing crazy. And they look at me funny. I said, because I done seen it too. So, that's the end of it. You whatever
make people feel better.
I've already
y'all have absolutely made me feel better about all this, because you put me at ease. Your personality, your kindness, your humbleness. Thank y'all so much. You'll never know what this means to me.
Well, I'm just glad you said yes to coming on. So.
Yes, I do too. And I'm glad that a bunch of people sent me links to when you were on with Duke. I appreciate Patrick Noble. He's the one that actually slipped your number to me. So.
Oh, Patrick, thank you. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Patrick's a good guy. He's a good brother of ours. In fact, I hope he gets to come back down and visit pretty soon. And maybe if he does, I'll let you know.
He's been on some of my shows.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, there's some regulars that are very kind. Yes, very kind.
Yeah, Pat's a very good guy. Everybody in our chat, we have great people in here. Me and Rebecca has never had 1 minute's trouble out of nobody. They're very good people, and their family, and we've always had a good chat. The Lord's been good to us on that. We've had a couple of little computer attacks that was probably AI generated, but we handled those well and kept on going. And I think we've only ever had to boot one person off, or two maybe, or something. But
yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't enough to even worry about. But
well, Miss Dunn, you now have 393 subscribers.
Oh my gosh, it grew. It grew. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I remember saying, y'all please. I don't think people realize this, what other people go through behind closed doors and in their own homes and financially and things. And I remember saying, y'all please just give me 50 subscribers so I can do my first live. And I remember begging people for that. So when you said 393, I thought, Lord, I'm 7 away from 400. See, oh Lord, I don't know. It's like you want to come in here and talk to everybody, and people are precious, but then one day somebody's going to ask you that question, and you're going to have to go into it. Well, the other night a feller reached out and said, he didn't believe what I was saying and stuff, and he was from Boston, and I couldn't, I couldn't argue. I mean, once I tell you what happened to me and you tell me your belief, then drop it. Let's move on to another topic. But it didn't go that way. And they just kept on. So I thought, I don't know what to do. So I didn't have a moderator. I just got my first 3 moderators, so I was tickled about that. But anyways, I didn't have a moderator, so I just reached down. It broke my heart. I felt like I was literally hurting somebody. I reached down and took them off myself, and it was the first time I'd ever done that. And I felt like I was absolutely hurting somebody, taking them off my channel. I don't know why I felt guilty. And they sent me an email that night, because I had, I put my email up, and they sent me an email that night saying, I am so sorry, and I apologize. Will you please give me a second chance to come back on your show? I apologize. Well, of course, what do? Oh, everybody deserves a second chance. I mean, if people wouldn't have gave me second chances in my life, where would I be? So what I do, I give them a second chance. And they talked, they were kind, and then it began. And I thought, Lord, it went from not believing in Bigfoot and telling me I didn't see Bigfoot. I wish that wasn't a word either, but to be honest with you, I wish there's another medical term or some kind of term we don't know yet, but scientific term. But anyways, he went from that to saying, talking about his mother, and I said, well, the Lord gave your mother life for just that reason. No, I said, let me tell you right. Something about it had to do with his mother. It was, about her being sick. And I said, well, the Lord gave you life. And he said, no, my mother gave me life. And I knew right then, there's nothing I can say. I could have 50 pictures of Bigfoot's face right here, and he's still. Some people are just not going to believe it. It don't matter what you show them. It don't, it went from he don't believe in Bigfoot to he didn't think that God gave him life. And we all know that. We know who gave us life, and we know every beautiful thing that happens in this world comes from him. And we also know this, and that is, if there's bad, it's because the Lord gave us free will, and those mean people are doing that bad. It's not because he's wanting to see us hurt. So that's the last thing I want to say. If y'all hear me say nothing else, that's the last thing I want to say.
Well, we really appreciate you being on with us tonight and telling us what you witnessed, and you being a fellow Alabamian, that makes me. Of course, when I heard you were from Alabama, I said, well, I've got to talk to this lady.
And of course, when I heard northeast over towards Georgia,
yeah, when
she
heard Piedmont,
I'm like, I got to do it.
And if everybody doesn't know about Piedmont, Piedmont is on the northern end of the Talladega National Forest, where we're at in Sylacauga is on the southern end. Talladega National Forest is a very big national forest, 500 something thousand acres, and about 70, 80 miles long. It's a big old national forest. It's a big area, and it has a lot of boogers in it. They're all up and down the national forest and different areas of it. And I was gonna tell you, Ms Lenita's in here too. I didn't know if you knew she was in here.
Oh, hey, Lenita, I love you, darling. Remember, I can't. Yeah, tell me who's on here, that if they're saying something specific, because I can't see a thing.
When you get a chance, you're gonna have to get you a computer. So,
I will. Why do you think I'm praying I make it to 1,000 subscribers? Y'all pray for me to make it to 1,000 subscribers, because once I do that, I can get my first computer at the age of 54. Because like I said, Daddy didn't believe in electronics, so we never had anything. We got a doll and a bike, and we were lucky to get that. So.
yes, ma'am.
Pray
I
for
think
me.
you get there, and I know there'll be a lot of folks in here tonight that's done subscribe to you, and
Thank
hopefully
God.
there'll be a lot more people see this interview with us, and that'll help you, and maybe get you up with Miss V and
Oh, I love
Spencer from Woodwalkers is wanting to talk to you, so.
Thank you, Spencers.
Yeah, that'll be a good. And Greg's in here. He's one of them from Woodwalkers. Is Misty
Thank
in
you,
here?
Greg.
Hadn't seen Misty tonight, but you'll love Greg, Misty, and Spencer. Sometimes you'll want to get on Spencer a little bit, but no, he's really a good guy. he likes to carry on a little bit. But Greg and Misty and Spencer have a good show. There's a lot of other ones. Chris Reinhardt would Discover Sasquatch, and there's some more. Mr. Barton Nunley, he has a good, very good show, and has on a lot of people, and he's a good guy. And there's a lot more out there. Miss PJ
Barrington said they'd like to talk to her.
Yeah, Jeff and them from Old Line Cryptids, him and Jerry.
Okay, good. I didn't hear that last part that she said. I was trying to listen. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear it.
Jeff and Jerry from Old Line Cryptids. They're out of Maryland. They're good friends of ours. They have a YouTube channel.
Oh, my God.
And Miss PJ, she has a channel. So you check her out, too. I think they've been putting her in. I think they put everybody in there, but I'll send you some of their channels through the text.
They put a lot of them in the chats.
But you go check these people out. They're very good people. All of them have some kind of encounter sometime in their life. Some of them had multiple encounters, and they're all very good people. Very good people. Mr. Martin Groves is in here. I don't know if you've ever heard
earlier,
if you've ever heard of him, but he's from the land between the lakes, which is up Tennessee, Kentucky.
I've heard of LB, or I've heard of that. Yes.
He's had a lot of stuff happen up in that neck of the woods, and so we're just a big family.
Hey, Dale.
We're just a big family, and there's Mr. Dale. He's another one, good one. He's another fellow Alabamian from down there in Phoenix City. Down there in Phoenix City, Alabama. So, and our good friend Flat Rock. I haven't seen him yet tonight.
He's probably watching, but he ain't commenting.
In fact, you got to meet Flat Rock the other night, didn't you?
Yeah, he came here.
Yes, I do remember with the camouflage jacket on.
Yes, ma'am. That was Flat Rock. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. He was memorable. There were several that was memorable, and they were so kind. Lord of mercy, I had such a sweet night. That was so fun.
Oh yes,
All the
ma'am.
And
ones that
told
were
me,
here that
yeah,
night have said hey.
oh, tell them I said hey, and I just loved them to pieces. But tell them that was the first Winnie I ever roast. So I said they're gonna laugh at me. I have never roasted Winnie in my whole life.
Well, you got to do it fine. So hey,
Yes, and it was delicious.
yeah, it's fun cooking hot dogs over a fire. Using a stick. That's a good way to do it. It's a lot of fun, and
That's the only way I eat them.
yeah.
It was really good. I was shocked. I was really shocked. I thought, I don't know if this is going to be good or not, but it was good.
A lot of folks like to get that burnt skin on it. It just makes it that much better. And some folks don't
I don't like charcoal.
Now, listen, Becca, I have never even been camping in my life. Imagine. I mean, I don't even know what that's like. See, I'm not kidding when I said Daddy burned our bathing suits and stuff. We wasn't allowed to go and do like other people. You know what I mean? I'd love, excuse me, I'd love to know what it's like to go and actual camp. You know what I mean?
Well, we may have to arrange that one day. So we'll have to.
It'll be my first.
Dinner.
I will bring y'all some butter beans and cornbread and fried chicken and slaw. Oh, Lord have mercy. I can cook up a storm, girl. You're making me hungry now.
Oh, yeah. That'll be right up my alley. Ain't no doubt about that. Well, we are having that little Christmas get-together at the Kyle Grist Mill right outside of Chillersburg.
We got an extra tent.
And first weekend.
Please send me the information because I'm not missing a get-together again now that I've met your folks at that fire thing. I just thought they were precious.
When I find my phone again, I'll try to remember to send it.
We'll sure send it to
Thank you.
I think it's up under the cap.
If it's where you can't come camp, but you still want to come hang out, you're more than welcome to now.
Okay. Thank you. I'm coming. I'm telling you, I've already told my cousin. I said I'm going back because this was so inviting, so welcoming. It was something that you don't feel unless you're with family. And I absolutely felt that close to some of them people by the time I left. I thought, how cool is this? It was just sweet.
And that is why we do it.
That's it. It's about the fellowship.
Thank you.
About the fellowship.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome.
I don't think Celena came to the meet and greet, Don. So
no.
Meet Don Miller.
Yeah.
But I told him I'd try to come to the next one because I was told that. They said, you didn't come to this one. I said, no, I didn't know about it. But Patrick told me there's going to be another one. So,
yes, man, that'll be one coming sometime another next year. We don't know exactly when yet, but we'll be having some small ones though too. We'll be having some small ones around, and I'll sure let you know when we have some small ones too.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do Pine Glen up in Chockalaka pretty soon. That'll be a small one because that it's not a big campground, but I'm gonna try to go to Chockalaka up in the Pine Glen campground. That's right outside of White Plains there. The little town of White Plains on Highway 9.
Yes, I do. I sure do.
But anyway, is anybody
got any questions? Y'all put them in the comments.
Yeah, I was gonna say, get any questions?
Also, put your prayer requests in the comments.
Yeah, we'll do the prayer here in a minute. And you got anything you like to say, Ms. Dunn? I know you gave your encounter. Is there anything you would like to say to everybody in the chat, or
just my email address? You can give them my personal number if they want to contact me, but just my email address. Y'all remember me in prayer, because it started out I was just wanting to tell somebody to see if maybe they'd come back and tell me that it happened to them and what they sing was something similar to what I sing. But now I absolutely have fell in love with the people that come on my chat. I just think they're the sweetest, kindest, most supportive, faithful people. And so I guess you could say, just give out my email address and tell them to just come and see me. And oh, okay. I'm sorry. Remember, I can't see good. But CWLEGARRETT CWLena Garrett, Garrett at gmail.com. CWLena Garrett at gmail.com. And then at Celena Garret Dunn 6028 is my handle for YouTube.
Well, we have been sharing your channel all night. It's in the
Oh,
comments several times.
Thank you. Thank you.
You got several new subscribers and everything in there tonight. So
And,
yeah,
if you need more moderators, I don't know who you got. I hadn't got to really check your channel out much this week. It's been so busy at work, and goes.
You're at 397 now.
You
oh my gosh, I'm 3 away. Oh my Lord, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Guys.
Yes, she does.
That is crazy. Oh Lord of mercy, I get plumb excited. It's crazy.
There's if anybody in here, she might need some more moderators down the road, and if any of these in here, I'd recommend to be moderators. I'll tell you that now.
Yep.
So I don't know who you have right now as moderators. I'll go check and see who you got. But there's some in here might be willing to be a moderator for you, and they would be good people. I recommend them right off the bat. Me and Rebecca has got some great moderators. They're always here, and when they can be, and they're always good about everything. They're a good bunch of people. So that's what I was telling you other night. You needed some good moderators. Because you're gonna have them. I hate to say it, you're gonna have some riffraff come through.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The only difference now, Mark, is I can deal with the riffraff. Thank goodness. I think I just got a year older and realized I'm tired of arguing. I'm too tired. Yeah. So believe how you want to believe. I'm going to believe how I want to believe.
Okay. We sure will, Leanne. We'll keep you in prayer. In fact, let me write your name. I had Leanne's name down, and I was going to tell everybody while I'm thinking about it. I kind of wrote a new list out tonight.
Oh, did you?
And of course, I'm going to probably left some names
Dale
off.
Boswell.
I got Dale on there.
And I can't remember. Oh, Gary's. Was it Gary that they said? Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, we got
Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another good friend of ours that has a channel. Now, he's not been real active lately. He has what they call Squatch and Holler.
Hold on. Hillary just put your new number on the screen. Put your glasses on and read it.
400.
I told her
I have made it to 4. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all. Y'all are so precious. I can't believe this. Oh my gosh. That's what I was telling you, to beg people, 50 people, just to do my first live. And I remember I was saying, please, y'all, please, please, please. And now y'all got me up to 400. It's y'all. Oh my gosh.
No, it's you. God. They would not be
God.
subscribing to your channel if they were not enjoying listening to you. So it is you.
I can't believe I'm at 400. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much. Oh Lord, don't you make me cry.
Well, you're going to grow. You're going to grow, and you'll have some more good people start watching you if you get a chance to.
You just keep putting out good content and keep being yourself.
That's it. That's it. And you'll keep growing. There's no doubt about it, because you have a very good spirit, I can tell. Very good spirit, which I knew at night. When you walked up at night, I could tell you had a very good spirit. So
yep.
I could feel it as soon as you walked up.
That's what I was telling you when I was telling you about her. I said, people say, quit holding that book up. Quit repeating the same thing over and over. That's what I was told. And I said, I'll hold that book up as many times as I want to hold that book up, or you can go to somebody else's channel. This woman has done so much for other people. You don't think I'm going to sit here and give her a little... I'm going to bring it to people's attention. She's precious, and precious people get precious things in my eyes.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what Billy Schilling said. Billy Schilling said, go get your new computer. And I am there with him. Don't wait for that 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead and go get it, because you're going to get that 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead and claim it and have faith.
So y'all heard me what I said about the reason I got to reach 1,000
Yeah.
subscribers is financially, right? That's why I was hoping. That's why when I go do a serve, I hope somebody don't come out swinging or firing because I done been
Let
through
me
that.
just go ahead and put one thing into reality for you. We've got 1,000 subscribers, and I ain't got enough money to make a new computer yet. So
Okay, so you're
So
telling me that that's just a rumor.
it's just you get paid at 1,000, but it ain't a lot.
Okay, so it is a rumor. So see,
Well,
that's something I
Big
didn't know.
money
I
is
didn't
not
know.
1,000. Big money is more 10,000, I think.
Oh
now
my
what you can
goodness.
do when you get up to 1,000, you can let your
Channels
You-
show ads.
you could let them start doing commercials on your on your shows and stuff where a commercial come on. You'll get a little more money out of that. Um,
You can do what we did and do a T-shirt sale, and put the funds towards a new computer. We put it to a thermal for him.
Oh,
But
I seen that. I watched that episode.
Yeah.
I was so
Don't,
excited for you.
just keep faith. You know how the Lord works. So
I do. In his time, in his time.
that's
And
it.
that's kind of more what I was meaning.
Yeah.
He's going to take care of you.
I know it. I know it.
He will. Well, we'll go over the prayer list and we'll do a short prayer and we'll let Miss Dunn say anything else she wants to, and then we'll call it a night because I know we've been on about 2 hours and I don't want to wear you out tonight. So, and
Well, Blizzard's calling my name. So.
oh Lord, she's always thinking about ice cream.
They've been sitting here talking about Red Lobster all day long.
Becca, Bluebell Millennium Crunch. You got to try that.
I do. I got to try that.
Hey,
It's just so
you know
good.
the blue
So
bell
good.
plants here in Silicaga, don't you?
Really? I should have looked them up. I should have looked them up and robbed the joint. No, I'm just kidding.
And they do tours, and they have a little ice cream shop in the plant that you can purchase
Oh
and sit
my
there.
gosh.
You need to come back
Now
down.
listen, y'all, if I was ever in my life gonna rob a place, it would be Bluebell. I'm serious, I love that place. I just love it. It's got almonds and toffee and everything in that Millennium Crunch. I love it. So yes, I'm sorry I had to say the name. I know you're not supposed to say brands and stuff, but Bluebell Millennium Crunch is absolutely delicious.
You find you on our channel.
You can say what you want on our channel.
Okay.
We just stay
Okay.
away from politics and key terms. We stay away from key terms. So, like that bug, that hit everybody and shut down the country. We don't mention that.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't get them key terms. We talk
Yeah.
about what did they call it? Freedom seeds and pew pews instead of what they really are. Alternative words instead of those key words. So
Michael X is my thermal out on your ice cream.
oh yeah, it's gonna be cold.
Oh, potassium. Ooh, yeah. I love potassium.
Yeah, they've been talking about Red Lobster all night long. So I've been sitting here reading their comments about all that food that they were talking about. I was gonna try to be good, but they have made it to where I've got to go get ice cream now. So
it's partly my fault, but I'm serious. You won't regret tasting a Millennium Crunch. I'm telling you right now. That is the best thing. It's perfect.
Right, so Greg got a good report.
Yeah, Greg got
and endless shrimp. Yeah, here they go again. Right. You're at now 405 people. It keeps
shut
on
up. Are you serious? I'm sorry for saying shut up, but I can't believe it. I said shut up because I just couldn't believe it.
We have this request again.
Oh my God.
To please sing us a tune.
They asking you about that, ain't they?
Come on.
They really don't believe. I think they just don't believe them sing. It's going to be so loud. I'm right here.
Hey,
It's gonna be Lord. It's gonna hit y'all's ears. Lord of mercy. I don't know. Maybe just a tiny, itty bitty, teeny weeny. Okay.
That's all we want. Come on.
Okay. Just itty bitty. Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. And some say love, it is a razor that leads your soul to bleed. Y'all get my point. I'm not doing it more. I'm embarrassed.
You're doing very
All
good.
right.
Just
So,
very,
you know
very
how
good.
we talked about how I have every other Friday night after the first of the year? We're going to get you back on and we're just going to sing.
You're so crazy. Y'all are so precious. You know that. Oh my gosh, y'all are precious. I just think people think, okay, I want to say this before we get off. I promise you I'm fixing to leave. But before we get off, remember what Mark just said to me, and he don't realize it resonated so much for me. I believe in signs. I really believe in signs. And the reason is because every once in a while the Lord says, all right, look now, I'll accept for coming up and saying, this is it, Celena, watch for things. Because I've said, I want somebody to order my homemade cookies. I love making them, and I just need it financially. People don't have any idea, like I said, what the other person's going through behind closed doors. So I want to tell y'all, I don't know who you all are. I can't see nothing, but I am telling you now that I love each and every one of you, even though I don't know you. I still know you in a way. But I don't know what you go through behind closed doors, but I promise you, I won't call you out individually to the Lord, but I will say every single person that showed me respect enough tonight to show up for this beautiful show, that I'm going to say a prayer for you, and even the ones that couldn't, that are shut in and couldn't get out. So I want to tell y'all, you're such a blessing. Well, the reason I want to tell you today, I received a check in the mail. And I had been begging people, please try my cookies. Please try my cookies. And so, anyways, this evening I got my first check in the mail for a cookie order, and they want 2 dozen. And it's somebody I don't even know, but I met them on here. And y'all are thinking, oh, that's so sweet, but that ain't the punchline. The punchline is I got the check in the mail and got to the bank and was deposited. They had no idea how much I needed that, by the way. Anyways, I was depositing in it, and I had to sign the back, and I just so happened to flip it back over, and it said, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Don't get upset at me, Pat, but it said Pat and Mary Garret. And that's my grandmother's name, Mary Garret. And so y'all may not believe in signs, but I do. And I think that was her saying, it's going to be okay, Celena. My name is on your first check for you selling your cookies on your first order. So it was emotional to me that my grandmother's name was my first check that come in for my cookies. So I'm sorry, I'm a big old little baby. I'm just a grateful baby.
Yes, ma'am. The Lord sends a lot of things and a lot of times when you need it. And it a lot of times comes in something very simple,
Like
very
a name.
simple, like a name, or you never know. He sends little signs here and there. And, we're always looking for the big signs. He doesn't work that way, He never has worked that way. Well, every now and then he does, but most time it's the little subtle,
The mustard seed.
the little.
There you go.
There you go. Yes, ma'am. Well,
That's
I'm proud that you got that. And hey, anybody on here wants the cookies? You done heard the lady. She's gonna be taking cookie orders. So
And they're good.
So you got her email, and you hit her up. So and
Thank you.
CWLENAGARRETT@gmail.com.
Thank y'all.
yeah. Well, we'll go over the prayer list real quick. and we'll do a short prayer, and we'll get off here tonight. And we really enjoyed you being on. So let me.
Thank you.
We want to remember Bobby's mom, Miss Sunny. Of course, our brother Jeffy, our brother Gary Spikes, and Gary, how's your daughter-in-law doing? Y'all remember Miss Dee Dee? I didn't see Miss Dee Dee tonight.
Put Miss Debbie in there.
I got Miss Jubilee on her, or Miss Debbie. Michael X's nephew Jackson, y'all remember him. Mr. Terry and his wife Carolyn. Miss Barb, Miss Lanita. Y'all remember David Hughes, Mom and Dad and David. Miss CD. I hadn't seen Miss CD tonight.
I hadn't either tonight.
Mr. Mark D. Mr. Dale, he was in here shortly earlier. Miss Jubilee or Debbie, Leanne. Y'all keep our brother Roger and keep Miss Dunn here in prayer. And of course, Greg's got a good report today. He said he got a real good report, so we're glad to hear that.
Gary's daughter's home, but gonna have to have chemo for a while. So.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. So now, if I missed anybody, because I started over with a new list, don't get mad at me if I didn't call your name out. You let me know, send me a text or a message or.
Barb says pray for Uncle James.
Uncle James.
He's septic. CCU.
Okay.
And keep Celena in your prayers.
Who?
Celena.
Oh, I said this stuff.
My lips is checked.
Even though I'm older than her. I tried to.
Bless your heart.
That's just a habit I grew up with. My mom and dad instilled that in me, and a lot of times I'll say ma'am to people a lot younger than me.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that's the way of respect, and that's.
Well, thank you so much. Let me throw this in, and I'm leaving. I promise I've done said that 5 times. I got a compliment on you today, Mark. The people that called and told me they subscribed to your channel. They called and said, I've subscribed to Becca and Mark's channel. And they said, have you noticed how respectful he is to everybody? I thought that was sweet. I wanted to tell y'all. I forgot to tell you.
That's the way I was raised, and that's the way I think. Now, I'm going to tell you now, I'm a sinner like anybody else, and I have my day.
Temper at times.
I've got a temper, and I have to watch myself and govern myself, and because I'm a sinner just like everybody else. And I try my best to do right, but now some days I goof up.
Some days it's harder.
But we'll go ahead and say a short prayer, and we'll
pray for Paul and
pray for Paul.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And who else? Grandson.
I got it right there for you.
Okay.
They're all sick. DJ Paul and the grandson.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, everybody, y'all heard everybody's name I called out, and the ones that said it in chat, and we'll go ahead and do a short prayer, and we'll let Miss Dunn get off here where she can go take care of her babies, and me and Rebecca's got to take care of our babies and everything.
Yeah, and I got
and she's wanting ice cream, and if I don't get it, I'll probably get in jail.
I'm sorry. I've been sitting over here with my head bound to pray, and you mentioned ice cream, and I was like, Lord, forgive me now. I'm thinking about ice cream. Oh.
Lord Jesus, thank you for everything you do for us each and every day. Thank you, Father, for taking care of us and being with us each and every day. Thank you for your love, your compassion, your peace, your justice. Thank you for your Son and everything that he came to this earth and done for us. Lord, thank you for the Holy Spirit, for the conviction and counseling he gives us through life, Lord. And Lord, be with everyone in this chat and everyone's name that's been called out and the ones that haven't been called out, Lord. Whatever their needs be, Lord, I pray that you meet their needs, and if it be thy will to meet those needs, Lord. Because we know everything goes by your time, your ways, and we don't understand them a lot of times, but I don't think we're meant to understand them. Lord, protect us going into this weekend and to next week. Lord, help us all. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Y'all were so awesome. And look, it's like she knew. She said amen too and run over here and grab me.
She's done now, right, Mama?
She's ready for something to eat.
See, I have my money. They hadn't ate, so they're ready to eat too.
Oh, babies.
I'm just to feed them, get your belly full.
All right, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate you being on. We love you. And
I'm crazy about y'all.
I'm gonna keep in touch with you now, and I know a lot of these other people. And I'm on, if it's okay with you, I'll give you your numbers to a couple of them where they can call you and talk to you. And
thank you so much. Oh Lord, that's a huge blessing, and thank you for that. I know it takes up your time. Thank you for that.
Well, I really appreciate you being on, telling your encounter, and because that's hard to come out and tell. Not everybody, that's hard for you. And but we'll go ahead and get off here, and you ain't got to wait on backstage on us. We'll just go ahead and I know a lot of folks put people in the back what they call backstage, but we'll just go ahead and call it a night, where you can go take care of them puppies. And we love all y'all, and y'all have a good weekend, and be kind and love one another like Christ commanded. And he did command that. He didn't ask it, he commanded it. And y'all love one another and get along, even though if you got differences, opinions on everything, we can still get along and love one another. And everybody have a good weekend. And you take care, Miss Dunn.
All right.
Y'all too, thank you.
And we're not going to give you time to respond, but you're up to 408 now.
No, I still can't believe that. I still can't believe it. Gigi,